You're full of colorful metaphors, aren't you, Saul?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Whatever you think's supposed to happen, the exact reverse opposite of that is gonna happen.
Each week we break down another Breaking Bad episode, in order. This week it's Season 5, Episode 12.
Rabid dog!
I've got 28 details you might not know. We start where the last episode left off. Walt arrives home with his frozen gun. They considered having Jesse burn the house down since they hadn't filmed the episode 9 flash forward yet. Instead, they filmed a gasoline stain for that flash forward, hoping viewers would think it was blood, but it didn't show up well on camera, so they cut it. I feel like that's an unrealistic amount of squish. Like us, he's wondering where Jesse is.
Show yourself right now!
I don't even need to zoom in for that film artifact. This shot and this shot are inspired by The Shining. The locksmith and steam cleaning companies are real, and those are their real phone numbers. The people are actors, though.
Switch us out, we'll be good to go.
No rekey.
Usually with a break-in, people like to get new keys.
No, same keys, same locks. Jesse, I mean, obviously, you've changed your mind here, and so thank you for that. Sleep it off, okay? And then call me. Be safe. Hey, guys, cut that. The smell has got to be gone completely. I really appreciate it.
Sir, we'd love to take more of your money.
You shouldn't. I can see from here that it's prop money based on the portrait.
Until you pull this up and get new carpet, new padding, this is as good as it gets.
New carpet and new padding? Walt should call
800-588-2300 Today.
Walt comes up with a scheme that's sure to fool his dumb family, is what he must be thinking. Let's hope Becky's not watching out her window. I don't know for sure, but I feel like they blacked out the top of the Ford logo. Holly's wearing shoes, but the camera switches and they're gone. That happened because these are two different babies.
Is that gasoline?
What happened?
Pillage.
I should sue someone. That's what happened. I have to stop to get some gas, and there is this total pump malfunction.
Sam wrote 10 episodes, but this is the only one he directed. He's also married to Skylar's divorce attorney.
Pump malfunction.
Whoosh! I am suddenly soaked. My arms and my legs and my groin. It's not until after I get out of the shower that I realize my gas-covered clothes have been soaking in the living room rug this entire time.
Can you just tell the truth?
What do you mean?
You fainted, didn't you? Because you're sick again?
No, it was the pump. However, I don't think we can stay here.
Yeah.
Uncle Hank and Aunt Marie, they got plenty of space.
Hey, what about a hotel?
Never should have let my dojo membership run out.
Bill Burr showed up unexpectedly clean-shaven, so the crew scrambled and put a fake beard on him.
Jesse did that?
Yeah, but you gotta understand, deep down he loves me.
Where is he?
Still looking.
His buddies, Beaver and what's his name?
Is it realistic that he wouldn't remember Badger's name? I guess it has been a while.
I put a bug on the tall kid's mom's place. For 3 hours straight, all they talked about was something called Babylon 5.
Did they talk about how familiar Ranger Captain Erickson looked?
Valen's name. Keep looking.
What then? Pinkman's like a bad penny. Sooner or later he's gonna turn up.
This is a really old expression, back when pennies were worth something and counterfeit ones were common.
Jesse is upset about the boy. I just need to explain to him why that had to happen.
Say, just for the sake of argument, the kid's not in the mood for a nuanced discussion of the virtues of child poisoning. His plans are running more towards stabbing you to death with a pointed stick.
You have a suggestion?
Maybe this is an Old Yeller type situation.
Old Yeller.
One day he showed up rabid, and little Timmy, for Old Yeller's own sake, had to, you saw the movie.
You're full of colorful metaphors, aren't you, Saul? Belize, Old Yeller. Do not float that idea again.
This hotel is the Isleta Resort and Casino, the same location as Jesse's rehab facility from Season 2, although this room is a set. The photos they put all around the room are of
Room key wouldn't let me into the ice room, so I had to go down to the front desk.
I see he does the Hank maneuver, serving the rocks barehanded.
How's Saul doing?
No idea.
You were just out talking to him in the parking lot.
Were you spying on me?
Yes, and I feel just awful about it, too. I played along with your pump malfunction bullshit because Junior was standing right there, but now I would like to know what's going on.
Oh hey, that's Coke again.
Jesse Pinkman, remember? He came over to our house, a time for dinner.
To me, this comment is even weirder than the Beaver thing. Did he forget that she knew who he was before then, and that they met again at the car wash?
He got upset over this something he thinks I did. I did do it.
Are you telling me that he tried to burn our house down?
Obviously, he changed his mind. He has a tendency to fly off the handle, that's all.
So he has never hurt anybody?
No. I can't believe you got her down so fast.
Oh, Walt.
What's your course of action here?
I'm gonna talk to him, make him see reason.
These are just euphemisms you're using here, right?
What?
I knew it. I told you that someday someone was gonna come to our door and try to hurt us. You getting shot when you open your front door. And now here we are.
Changed his mind.
What if he changes it back? You need to deal with this.
How much have you had to drink?
Not nearly enough.
We all need to just take a deep breath and calm down.
There's the final one.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Jesse isn't just some here. Yes. Some rabid dog.
We've come this far. What's one more?
So both Saul and Skylar want Walt to kill Jesse. Now we finally jump back in time to see what happened to Jesse. Snorting something off a CD before taking action is just like what he did in Season 3. Jesse's leaning his head way over this time, unlike last episode. That shadow doesn't match Jesse. It's gotta be a crew member. This shot is interesting because it's the 2 seconds immediately before this shot from the last episode. As soon as Jesse drops the gas, it rotates 90 degrees. Remember, Hank decided to follow Jesse himself when Gomi confronted him about his own guys, so this checks out.
Put out the lighter.
But what doesn't check out is how dry the couch
He
is.
poisoned a little kid.
Jesse's sort of in the same spot he held Walt at gunpoint.
Just has to move.
Walt's a bastard. Secret's out.
He can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it.
Sometimes I hear Aaron's Todd voice from BoJack Horseman, and that was just one of those times.
You can't keep doing this.
You really want to burn him down? Let's do it together.
Everyone who spots this believes it's a pink teddy bear, but this has supposedly been debunked by the crew. It's most likely a plastic shopping bag that blew up there. There's the crew.
Where are we going now?
DEA. Downtown. Good witness for me. It'll go better for you.
Yeah, sitting around in D.C. waiting to be a witness against Mr. White. It's gonna go great for me.
You're angry.
It's Dave, Marie's therapist we first heard about in Season 2.
I think Dave is, really helping you.
I can't sleep. I'm not eating.
She can't even wear purple.
Marie, I think it's time you filled me in on some more details here.
How could I have not seen this? Blackjack winnings. Nothing suspicious about that at all.
Tell me about this movie.
The details don't really matter, do they? He screwed us, and he won.
Can we talk about something else, please?
How's work? Last week you were upset about the new parking rules.
That's a funny glimpse of what they normally talk about.
Saxitoxin.
I think she means saxitoxin, but maybe someone can correct me if saxitotoxin is also a thing.
Death occurs from respiratory failure. That is definitely a contender.
Marie.
Don't worry, I wouldn't hurt anybody. It just feels good to think about it.
What's the story here?
Look, I don't want to get into it now, but there's been a development. I booked you a spa package at La Posada.
Hank, what the hell is going on?
We have a guest. If I bring that kid in and put him in the system, Walt's gonna find out 5 minutes later.
Just answer me this one question. Is this bad for Walt?
Yeah, very.
Good. I'm staying. I'll heat up lasagna.
Do you want me to heat up some of that lasagna?
Phone's ringing.
It's the Hello Kitty phone with its distinctive ring.
You have one new message.
And we're still back in time when Walt made this call.
Listen,
They played the entirety of the call from earlier with all its pauses.
You've changed your mind here, and so thank you for that. Sleep it off, okay? And then call me.
And even the hang-up noise is in sync.
Be safe.
This is an interesting contrast to him sitting by the pool in the pilot. Besides Walt as Santa, here's Marie wearing Hank Orange for a change. This is the first time Jesse and Marie meet, leaving Junior as the only main character to never be with Jesse.
Would you like some coffee?
Thanks.
It's funny that Marie would choose that mug.
Never the DEA.
People have pointed out that it looks like dead with a handle making a D, but like the Gale in the Madrigal window, I don't think that's intentional. These are the Homeowners books, and they had Jesse pick up this Ronald Reagan biography because it seemed like something Hank would read. Hank also owns the DVD box set of Deadwood. It would have been interesting to see their reaction when Anna Gunn appears in it. By Deadwood, there are some DVDs whose details they digitally erased. But in just one shot, we can see them unaltered, and it's Breaking Bad. Hank could have prevented a lot of deaths if he just popped that into the DVD player.
This is art. Mr. White?
Other appropriate books on the shelves are The Final Days, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Las Vegas, Rainbow's End, The Blue Nowhere, Mad Money, The Money Harvest, The Rat, Big Secrets, and even 4 Past Midnight, which contains a story about a rabid dog. But these supposedly are all coincidences.
You remember Agent Gomez?
Gomi's not messing around. We saw them meet in Bit by a Dead Bee when Gomi did this weird intimidation.
Nice. This can't be what you mean by burning him to the ground. It's just my word against his word kind of stuff.
Start from the beginning. When did you first meet Walter White?
He was my teacher.
This is all they show, at least in this episode, but on the Breaking Bad DVD, you can watch about 5 minutes of Jesse's tape, similar to Walt's from last episode.
I get to his door, and I could hear music inside, like squeaky voices. I knocked on his door. He kept saying that, you don't have to do this. And then I did it. And I just can't, just once.
So I saw this guy, Kubi's, up front, laying a bunch of bull crap on the engineer. Mr. White's greedy. He needed his 1,000 gallons, like, exactly. So once word comes down that we are done.
Word comes down? Jesse's being weirdly opaque again.
Word has come down that they want me to go to Mexico. Todd, that Opie, dead-eyed piece of shit, pulls out a gun and shoots the kid.
I hate to admit it, but I think the kid is right. There is no physical evidence.
Just the word of one nut job meth head against Mr. Rogers has a lung tumor.
In hindsight, it's weird that neither Hank nor Gomi thinks about the money as potential evidence.
Where do we start?
I say we start with this.
Jesse, I'm going to be at Civic Plaza tomorrow at noon. I hope you'll give me the chance to explain myself. I'll be alone and unarmed, so if you want to come and shoot me in the head, that's up to you.
He wants to explain himself. We put a wire on you and let him explain.
So your plan is to do his plan? If I go to this plaza, I'm a dead man.
Walt's ruthless, except when it comes to you.
He's right.
He cares about you. Based on everything you told us. He paid for your rehab, ran over those 2 drug dealers with his car, made you a 50-50 partner. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah, he sort of did. I'm the only one near as good as him, so.
I don't know. Look how far he'll go to show you, to convince you that he's not such a bad guy. That's what this is.
What if it's about killing me?
Nothing's gonna happen to you. The plaza is one of the most wide-open public places in all of Albuquerque. It's the middle of the day.
Now would be a good time for Jesse to point out that he got kidnapped at this same location in the middle of the day.
He's the devil.
You are the devil.
Whatever you think's supposed to happen, the exact reverse opposite of that is gonna happen.
He's kind of right, but also reverse opposite negates itself.
We're not brainstorming here. This is what's happening.
I gotta piss. Can I piss?
Yeah, down to the left.
Look at Hankenstein hiding one of his round-bottom boiling flasks in plain sight. There was another one in the hallway.
What if the kid's right? What if it's a trap?
The kid? Oh, you mean the junkie murderer that's dribbling all over my guest bathroom floor? Well, then he's right. Pinkman gets killed, and we get it all on tape.
This scene was inspired by a movie called The Conversation, in which a couple in San Francisco's Union Square was secretly recorded. This equipment isn't just a prop, but what they really used to record audio in this scene.
Pancho Villa, Selma Hayek. Pancho Villa, Selma Hayek. You getting that?
Loud and clear, idiota.
Once again, Hank is making fun of Gomi's heritage. And once again, it was freezing, so Brian and Aaron had their hands in their pockets. In an outtake at the end, you can see that Brian was wearing a winter hat between takes.
Hey, Hank, you got eyes on this?
Sayaka Meizono inspired me to look at the camera interface, and this didn't disappoint. It's shown 3 times. Between the first 2 times, 1 minute and 33 seconds of episode elapses, and they made the on-screen elapsed recording time match. Between the second and third times, 30 seconds elapses, which again matches the on-screen time. Although this extra's walking progress doesn't match the 30 elapsed seconds. 3 or 4 more extras were visible when they filmed this, but Vince had them digitally erased so you could focus more on Jesse and Walt. But if you look closely, you can see the shadows of these ghosts. If Jesse could have seen how much Walt cares about him, they could have gotten him right here.
He's taking off. I think he's running.
Oh, no, kid, come on.
Don't go. No.
Hello. Nice try, asshole.
This is just a heads up to let you know I'm coming for you.
Next time I'm gonna get you where you really live.
They mixed in the sound of church bells to make it sound like a showdown at high noon. Ah, they got us. The scary man isn't working with Walt.
Get it. What were you thinking?
There's another way. A better way.
If I were Hank, I would not be so patient waiting for him to say more.
Todd, I think I might have another job for your uncle.
It turns out Jesse is a rabid dog. And now the church bells have been incorporated into the credits theme. Congratulations and thanks to the following members who earned their 6-month membership badges from YouTube this week. Teachers Archives, John Curran, Nathan McGinley, Cinnabon Bear, Nees Dutz, Olive, Gordon Bird, Shirley, Airdead, Orion Kettle, and Logie Bear 1707. Our 6-month members. Say hi to the new members: Dog Willis, Michael Skokenmayer, Sebs Incognito, Leo, DJ Wolfie, Sebastian Coral, Shed, John H., The Mad Alex, Shirley Wilder, Daniel, ICR, Joan, Stickleprick, Solicide, Darwizzy831, Herg, Zahai, Barshot, Skytree Studio, Dratty Lapio, DeWatsers, Swag is Here, Jesse's Game Room, Stormson, Gabriel Correa, Danny Ogle, Absol Hero, Slowdiver13, Eddie Humtua, Vero, Tweak, Joel, Noel Spurn, Sneezer, Shizopsiswa, Gandalf, Benpad, Early, Pitrek, The Cemetery Shade, Shane Murphy, Yomi FGC, Tyler Blake, RS25, David Ives, Capio, G Black Cat 66, Jam Sandwich, Jamie McGibbon, Julius, Better Watch Twin Peaks, Aiden Aguilar, Jasper Lavender, Silviano, Eyeballing, Dinby Vizzle, Swagged Out White Boy, Brisket, Destructive Outlet, and Gonk. Now I'm going to attempt to fix my pronunciation of Gennaro Cascajar. Also, I was wrong. J was not short for Jane. Next week, we go back to where it all started and get caught up in a massive shootout.
No.
I make it sound like Katharine Hepburn.
No.
The answer's no.
So, you know a good place to get a bagel.
Would you like us to adopt you?
Yes, please.